Ahoy friends, welcome to building the Alpha Dory, a project to build a replica of a 1890s racing dory of the style of William Chamberlain at Marblehead. Plans from John Gardner's The Dory book, illustrations by Sam Manning. Today we're hoping to get the transom fastened and get the dory down on the building bed. We'll see how far we get. If we can get that transom on, then we'll be in good shape. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and let's get to it. Alright, so this is kind of one of those second verse, same as the first type of deals. Very similar to attaching the stem. So we've got the transom with the knee attached to it, which we did earlier. And so we planed the transom flush with the bottom of that knee, so now it sits on top of the bottom here. And I've got a mark here on the bottom, right on the center line, that shows how far forward on the bottom this knee should be, the end of the knee, in order for the transom to be right in just the right spot back here. So yeah, so that's where it's at. And we want to get this as close to plumb, close to parallel to the center line as possible. We definitely want to attach this knee in the middle of the boat, and we want to get the transom as close as possible, but it's not a huge deal. There's quite a bit of flex side to side in the transom, so when we go to align everything when it's down on the building bed, then we can straighten everything out and get it all just so. Alright, I'll get the clamp on here. I'm going to try and clamp it down so it's far enough out of the way to do the drilling and riveting. Alright, that looks good. So we'll do the same thing as we did on the bow, which was the slightly larger drill through the oak, so we don't have to really wail on the copper rivets, and then the tighter drill through the pine, so the nails will have as good a bite in the pine as possible, the pine bottom. And we'll just check the depths and the distances, because we don't want to put a nail through where we don't have enough nail to rivet. Yeah, so just like within an inch and a quarter or so, inch and a half of the end of the knee there. Looks good. Alright, so I'll drill it, and then I'll hit it with the wood preservative. And the smaller drill through the pine. unclamp. Get everything gooped up. I like to at least drill a centering, drill at least one hole, if not two, to so that I can locate the exact position that I want this thing to end up in. Because once it has that cuprinol on it and it's all wet, it gets a little bit slipperier, a little bit more difficult to clamp and whatnot, and so it's kind of a pain in the butt. Plus you'll get cuprinol all over yourself if you start trying to handle it a lot. Yeah, so we'll just hit this with a good coat. Trying to keep the cuprinol off the back side of the transom, just because I'm not sure what we're going to do for paint back there yet. If we do put some varnish on, there'll probably also be some bottom paint, so the varnish wouldn't go below the water line anyway. So alright, and then some cuprous oxide on the transom, on the stern of the bottom. There we go. Looking good. Alright. Let's get it on there. Yeah, I have the transom also kind of braced up against the back wall here, so once the nail was in there, the geometry of getting the piece onto the nail is a little bit tight, but worked out well. Alright, so we'll clamp it in position. With our Woodruff Eagle clamp. Just get centered here. We're still down there. Looks good. I just want to check everything on the center line there, so that's great. Good. later. That's a good sign. Alright. Have to go find that one. I'll find it later. On the rivet head. Looks pretty good. Okay, so should be able to loosen that, and I should be able to drag the bottom forward on the horses slightly, and there we go. That's that. The transom is now floating free, just held by these two rivets, and the board that it's on, the bottom board. Alright, so now before we get too excited, let's just check one more time that we got everything lined up in the stern here. Looking good. And yeah, what we'll have to do is put one of those ring nails right up and through here. There it goes. That should do it. Now, so I can take the rounded end of the railroad tie and put it on the top here. a little spatter of cuprous oxide in the face on that one, but alright, so we got one nail in there. We could probably put another one in. Just want to check and make sure we're not anywhere as near in danger of coming out, so we should be good there. We just don't want to break out through the yeah, so we're good all the way down to here about. So maybe put one right in here. Yeah, looks like it'll do a good job in there. Alright. Put that backing block on there again. Looks great. Okay, so now we're at a point where we've got something called the skillet put together, and that is the bottom of the boat with the frames and the stem and transom nailed onto it. So that's where we're at, and yeah, making pretty good progress. So I've got some cleaning off to do under the boat, and a bunch of cleaning off on top. But yeah, hopefully we've got a few more minutes. We can drop the boat down onto the bed. Alright, so we're getting there. I think I got a little bit more room up forward here, so what I'll do is I'll slide the whole boat forward. I can only slide it so far because I'm actually the transom right now is higher than those loft beams. Alright, first thing I think I need to do is move this, shift this sawhorse as far forward as possible so that the stem doesn't go too high. And what I'm going to have to do is, while I'm lowering the transom, I'm going to have to keep an eye on that stem because it could hit the roof there, the shed roof. So what I may need is some sort of a temporary block or box to set the transom on. I get the transom halfway down and run out of room. I'll need to put it on something temporarily to yeah, this could do. It's got a couple different heights to it, so I've got a little bit of variety there. Just make sure it fits. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and looks like the grinding wheel is going to get in the way. What I'll do is I'll yank this horse. Let's see how we do. Alright, we're down on the box and we've got plenty of room forward. So what I'll do is I'll grab this block. So I don't want to put the transom right on the very tail end if I can help it. I want to catch it back where it's got a little strength. Yank this box out. Yeah, still watching the stem. The stem's good, so moving that sawhorse forward eliminated most of the rise that the stem was going to get. Move this block back to here. Alright, so right now the transom's supported just about at the last frame, so that's not an issue. Of course, once all the planking's on this thing, you'll be able to pick it up by one end. And it's just right now you got to be a little bit careful of how you handle the bottom. Alright, so now what we'll do is I'll lift the bow and just yank the sawhorse. And you can see since I don't have the point of the stern down on the strong back, it's still somewhat stable because I got this block in that's up near, like I said, up near the last frame. Now you can see how it's a little bit tippy because the bow is down on there. Oh, there she is, down on the building bed. There's a fair amount of blocking and whatnot that needs to go on. We've got to block the rocker into it. But yeah, that's where we're at. And at this point you can kind of start getting an idea of the sheer scope of this vessel with with the stem and the stern laid out there. It starts to kind of become apparent just how what a good sized dory she's gonna be. Thanks for stopping by building the Alpha Dory, and hope you'll tune in again when we next video when we start bracing the bottom onto the strong back, and maybe we'll even get to trimming a couple of the bow and the stern frame, trimming the frame angle into those. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.